Pipelines, of course, are a key part of our infrastructure. So is the electric grid, and a growing challenge is keeping it safe, especially from hackers backed by governments. Andrea reports.
It came out of nowhere late last year in the Ukraine. Part of the nation's capital city cut off from power.
In order for Ukraine to recover their power, they had to switch off the computers and go back to a manual system for distributing their electricity.
And it was the second time the Ukrainian government faced a major outage, blaming Russia for the first attack. The assaults exposed security gaps here in the U.S.
Turning off water, turning off electricity, those are all realistic attacks now.
Real now, he says, because the criminal groups are backed by governments and big money. Security expert Liam Omerchu.
We're tracking over 100 different groups operating all the time that are backed by governments.
And he says that's way up from just 5 groups a few years ago.
Sometimes launching real-time attacks and sometimes just setting up so they have a backdoor, they have a foothold that they can use in future when they need it.
Electric utility companies take this issue very, very seriously.
Scott Aronson, Edison Electric, the trade group that represents the nation's investor-owned electric companies.
Whether it's an act of war or an act of God that is impacting the grid, we have ways to be resilient to make sure that we can keep the electricity flowing.
And that includes, he says, sharing information with grid operators across the country, along with top government officials.
We have begun to pursue a capability for manual operations so that we can be prepared if a similar incident happens here in the United States.
The grid extends to Canada and into Mexico and is worth more than $1 trillion, bringing power to some 334 million every year.
We're talking about a government and the resources and the money and the expertise that a government can wield going up against private companies. So there's a real mismatch there in the power of attack and the power of defense.
So what's being done to protect the electric grid? The Government Accountability Office, or GAO, found over 24 government efforts in place right now to increase reliability, including threats from hackers. But they admit that more needs to be done. For Nightly Business Report, I'm Andrea Day.